So last season we finished 7th in the National League, and next season we want to go one better and get promotion. We lost out in the playoff quarterfinals this year. Next year we're going to do it. We now need to put together a squad on the lowest budget in the league in order to achieve it. It should be possible. Let's go. Okay, welcome back to episode 28 of Bottoms Up with Aveley here in the National League. As you can see on screen, we have a wage budget of $10,696. We are currently overspent on it, or we was overspent. Somehow we had some transfer budget of £8,000. So I just reduced that down to zero, added on the wage budget. We're now just about over the limit or under the limit, whatever you want to call it. One thing I do want to show is we've already made one transfer. So if we go into transfer history, Abdul Malik on a free transfer. He's 23 years old. He's previously been at Millwall, although he's only made 4 appearances for Millwall, but he's made 4 appearances in League One last season. He was in the Vanarama National League the season before that, on loan with Wealdstone, where he made 44 appearances, scoring 9 goals, 3 assists, 1 player and a match award. Not great figures, but when you look at him, he looks amazing. He's 4-star current ability with 4.5-star potential ability. He can play up front, he can play out on the right, the left, out on the right, or in the middle. Any of those 4, we don't play that position, but any of the other 3 positions, he can play to equal goodness. Can't think of the word, but equal goodness will do for now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to forward on to the 1st of July. I'm going to keep my eye out for some loans, free transfers, that kind of thing. Try and move some players on. If we look at the squad and we look at their expiry date, obviously Eduardo Vaz is non-contract. He's been non-contract since he's been with us basically. Wojciech Maciejewski is our under-18 goalkeeper that in actual fact we will remove him from that position and he should just return to the under-18s. There you go, he's gone now. We've got Jaden Dixon who's going to be going out on or back to his parent club. We're going to see if we can try and get him back. We did try in the previous episode, but we wasn't successful. We've then got several players that are running out of contract at the end of this, or by the end of June. Jimmy Mewett, we're going to let him go. We don't think he's good enough, even though he's had a terrific season. There's 46 starts. No, what's happened to my thing down here? There you go. 7 assists, average rate of 6.89. He was okay, but I just think we need better for this level. Matt Rush, I'm really undecided about because he's been a legend for us. He really is. He's 25 years old. And 50 goals in the last 2 seasons, 61 since we've been at the club. And the fact that he can play out on the left as well, there is talk for being able to keep him here. The problem I've got is his wages, because Abdul Malik, wherever he's gone to, he's on £600 a week, same as Jimmy Mewett. Matt Rush and John Benton are comfortably our highest earners if we filter it by that. There you can see. And I don't know if I can afford both of those, bearing in mind with the wage budget we got. But if we can move on some of the players whose contracts run out in 2027, I wouldn't be adverse to seeing George Fowler go, as much as it breaks my heart. Nana Kai, I love Nana Kai. I might just keep him here, but if I'm being ruthless, I need to get rid. We want to keep him around. Casper, I want to keep him around, but at the same time, he's not a number 1 and he wants to be. So we might need to move him on. Ryan can go. Temi can go. We'd like to keep Giamfi. Harry Emmett won't be going anywhere because he's injured for the next couple of months. Bailey Berry, I quite like him. He's got potential as well. We might keep him around. Odd Loose is probably going to have to go, and that's another one that breaks my heart. Sydney, Nana, and John Benton are like, and Matt Rush as well, are among the heroes here. Then, obviously, Abdul's going to be here. We want to keep Sam Collins, and that's our number 1 goalkeeper. I am considering moving Casper on and bringing in Wojciech as a backup goalkeeper, and just hope we'd never have to use him. But as we stand at the moment, we have a squad of 20 people. And I'll bring you back, like I say, 1st of July, or if there's anything to bring you back for earlier, I'll bring you back earlier. But I'll see you soon. Okay, so it's the 31st of May. We've brought our first 2 trialists in. We've got Kyle Finn, who's a winger, 27 years old. 4-star it says there, 4-star for potential as well. Although on the other bit it says 3.5-star. If we do the comparison, which I like to do with all my players, so we're comparing, when we get a chance, we're comparing him to Jimmy Mewett. And looking at this, he's the same mentally, same defence. He's got better physical, he's quicker, they're the same vision, he's better at attacking, he's not quite as technical, and he's not as good aerially. At the moment, I'll say that's all in Kyle Finn's favour. So if we look at the attributes, in terms of the physicals, and physicals are very important at this level, Finn is better than Mewett on all the physicals, bar strength, and there's like 1 point in it. Pretty even in terms of the mentals, maybe Mewett slightly heads the mentals. But I would say in terms of what we want from corners, crossing, dribbling, yeah, better dribbling for Mewett, but corners and crossing is better from Finn. He can take a free kick, kind of. We look at statistics, we've got nothing for Finn for last season. I'm thinking Kyle Finn might be the better option. He's 3.5-star as well compared to 2.5-star. So yeah, I'm kind of looking at Finn. Now what is going to be interesting, so we have already set, if we go back to our squad, we've brought in, like I say, these 2. We've set a few, like the ones that are going out in 2026. Charlie Hughes we're keeping. He's going to be signing a new contract. He hasn't signed it yet, but he is signing it. But York, Benton, Rush and Mewett are all leaving. I did try offering Matt Rush a new contract, but he wanted like £900 a month and was not willing to budge, basically. So I've just said goodbye. We have, however, brought in another new sign. I don't know if they've arrived yet. No, they arrive. So we look at the future transfers. Future, not free. We've got Darren McCauley, who is a left back. He's 2-star current, 4 to 5-star potential. His physicals are amazing. If we compare him with, say, Edwino Vaz, who is our current left back, Edwino is better, and that's why Darren is really going to be a backup to Edwino. But yeah, I'm quite happy with him, and I think in terms of his physicals being better than most that are available out there, obviously Edwino has strength in his favour. Edwino's still our number 1, but I think Darren McCauley could definitely do a job as our number 2, and we are going to train him for the right back position as well, because then he can be a very useful addition for us. So let's have a look at our 2 trialists. So Kyle Finn, we've had a look at him. Let's see what kind of wages he's going to want. So he wants to be an important player. I'm not going to play him in his preferred role. So we'll suggest the promise. If this is anything over 500-600, it's going to be a no. Look at that. I mean, it's just completely unreasonable. We can't pay £950, so we're just going to have to walk away. And this is a problem I'm having during pre-season, every season. So we've got Dermy Lusala. Now, you could argue, do I really need him? I've got Luciano. I've also got Jaden Dixon that can play out there and in the middle, and he's certainly not going to be a central defender. But out of curiosity, let's just see what he's... I mean, he wants to be a star player, so that's not a good sign. He wants 1.6k. I mean, this is why I'm saying that it's so hard to find players for our team. If we look at the stats, the team detail, we go down to the finances, the salary per annum. I mean, we are 21st, £476,000 a year we're paying. We should be in the relegation. You can kind of see why Chelmsford and Tamworth were relegated. And then you go up to the top of the division, and Oldham and Swindon are paying 1.7 million each. I mean, they're paying like, 1.3 million more than what we are. And we won. How we managed to get in the top 7 is beneath me, considering there's 13 teams. Eastbourne Borough. I mean, that is insane. Eastbourne Borough. No wonder their finances are insecure. They came up with us last season from the Vanarama National South, and they're paying £1 million a year in wages. That's more than double what we're paying. Wow, that is... I am amazed by that. I really am. I mean, there's not many clubs in here with secure finances, let's be honest. But okay, so you've seen the kind of struggle that I'm going to be up against, and I'll fast forward and see you again shortly. Well, folks, I have been wondering why I don't get approached very often, and we've been approached by Hemel Hempstead for a job interview. Now, Hemel Hempstead are in the league below us, the Vanarama National League South. They've got less of a capacity than what we've got at the Focus Community Arena. They finished 12th last season, so they're a mid-table National League South side. And I think you can understand why I'm going to decline this interview. Leave a like for me declining an interview at Hemel Hempstead. And also let me know in the comments if you think I'm right to decline that interview. I believe I am 100%, but you tell me what you think. Okay, so our first batch of trialists have come in. Not that our director of football was able to find as many, but we asked him for some midfielders, some central defenders type things. So we've got David Cower here, who's a winger. I mean, he's impressive on the physicals, I've got to say. He's 3 stars, 4.5 star potential. It's really the current that I want. He can kind of get across it, he can dribble a little bit, and he's got a bit of pace. Shall we compare him with, say, Jimmy Mewett? I mean, in terms of physically and speed-wise, he's a lot better. He's not quite got the vision, he's not quite as good attacking, and he's not as technical or aerially or mental. So Jimmy Mewett kind of has the edge in that part. If we look at the attributes, I mean, physicals, he absolutely dominates Jimmy Mewett in the physicals. The mentals, they're pretty even, but Jimmy probably has the edge on most of them, on most of them. Let's see how much he wants. So he don't mind being a fringe player, that's fine with me. Okay, so he wants a non-contract. So he's £150 a week on the wage budget cost at the moment. So if we take out that and that, we can get him down to £90 a week. But he wants an appearance fee of £350. So if we can knock that down to 300, no, he's gone up to 400. Let's see, we've probably got to pay around the 350 mark by the looks of it. Yeah, he's not willing to budge a grade. Let's say 325 to show we are willing to negotiate. So he's saying 350. We'd agree to it. He's on a non-contract, so we can always ship him back out again. Jack Sanders, central defender. He's not what we want. Luke Heaney, centre-back as well, I believe. Oh, no, he can be a midfielder as a ball-winning midfielder, 3-star, 3.5 star potential. I mean, he's played a lot of time for Drogheda United. He's consistent, and he enjoys the big matches. Again, I'm quite pleased with his physicals. His mentals are not bad either. If we compare him to Nana Kai, who's kind of the person we've got in that position at the moment, it's either Kai or Blackman. Where's Kai? There he is. I mean, technicals, he wins everything. Mentals, he wins pretty much everything. Nanakai's slightly better on the physicals, which, it is important, the physicals. If we look at the overview, other than being ever so slightly quicker, he's definitely an improvement in every other area. The problem we've got is Nanakai's here till 2027, and I've tried getting a few of them shipped out. Nanakai, Odd Lucy, and Ryan Blackman, and there are no takers for them. So we might end up being stuck with them. If we look at what he's after, We're not going to play you in your preferred position or anything like that, even though we are, but you know what I mean. Now, here we go. He wants to be an important player, so I think he's going to be asking for too much money. Oh, okay. That's a good start. So at the moment, it's £375 a week on the wage budget. So if we can just take out all of these, you're not going to get a bonus for avoiding relegation. That's basically what I'm paying you to do anyway. So we take out the signing on fee and we say 300 there. So that with that is £350 a week, which is manageable for us. Oh, okay, he's prepared to accept it. Well, that's a bonus because he as well is another one that can play out on the right. So whereas before we've moved Giamfi from here out into the right, we also have the option of moving him. He is prepared to play in this position here, or he can play in this position. He prefers to be a ball-winning midfielder, whereas we tend to have a defensive midfielder in that role. So he can do it. There's no reason why he can't. If we highlight the attributes, yeah, he can kind of do that. So he could be our next signing. Then we've got Harrison Hopper. For some reason, I really love that name. He's 3 stars with 4-star potential. Again, he wants to be a ball-winning midfielder. I don't think he's as impressive. And if we're keeping the likes of Nanakai and Ryan Blackman, we're not going to have a need for him. No-nonsense centre-back, Gus Mafuta. 3 stars. He's 31 years old. I mean, he can play in any of those 3 positions. He can do the ball-winning midfielder there. He can do the defensive midfielder kind of there. And he can be a no-nonsense centre-back at the back. He's very strong. He's got good jump. I mean, I'll tell you what, he could be perfect for us on corners. What does he actually want? So he wants to be an important player. I'm not looking at paying him a great deal, I must admit. Let's see what he's after. Nah, not prepared to pay that for him. And then Anthony Stewart, as I said, about 3.5-star current and potentially 33 years old. I mean, he's very good at heading. He's got leadership as well. Do you know what? For a season, he might actually do a job for it. He wants to be a star player, that's fine. It's his wages that are going to concern me. Oh, there you go. Sorry, bye-bye. We can't afford that. So I've cleared a tactic and started putting people in here. It was Luke Heaney. He's the one we've made a bid on. So if we move him up to play alongside Sam Collins in there, I mean, any of the wide men we've got, we might have to play them anyway because we are struggling for players. But yeah, I'll show you the pre-season friendlies. I've arranged some potential batterings. We've got West Brom coming up next. Then it's Histon, Barnet, Crawley, Lincoln, Preston, Blackburn and Oxford. Out of the 4 friendlies I made, which was West Brom, Blackburn, Preston, and I think Lincoln, or it might have been Crawley, I can't remember, one of these anyway. We stand to make around 40,000 from that, which has not been applied to the overall balance yet. The wage budget is still overspent at the moment, but obviously we're waiting for players to leave in a couple of days' time. As you see, we've got these ones that are all leaving. We've also got 16... Oh, look, there you go. He's going to be going somewhere else. We've also got 16 youth players that are going to be leaving as well, that there's no point keeping them around and paying them £5 a week. So Cardiff Met Uni, Lowestoft and Maidstone United. Now, personally, I think we're better than those, but he's probably going to end up going to Cardiff Met Uni. So, potential issue. This is annoying me. This is about the 5th player I've had now. They've got they're not starting enough games. We haven't played any games. You know, I don't understand how they can still be having this issue. And at the end of the day, he's going anyway. So I can't. There you go. I'll say every single one of them. I say to them, I can't envisage you can get the playing time he wants. So I'll sell you. And then every one of them says, I don't want to leave. I'm happy to wait for my chance. If you're happy to wait for your chance, stop moaning every month. You're doing my head in. I'll see you in a minute when I've got some players, hopefully. Oh, this is hard work. So we've had a couple of players that we tried bringing in on free transfers. wanted far too much money. We couldn't negotiate them down, so therefore they've not joined us. We've had 4 players that were set to come in on loan. Their clubs accepted the terms of us basically paying nothing, and they've now agreed to go to different clubs, so we can't have them on loan. Now we've got a next batch of trialists in. Let's see how we got on here. So I'm looking ideally for centre-backs at the moment, maybe a couple of defensive-minded midfielders. So we've got Jake Grant, who, as you see here, 4-star current ability with 4 to 5-star potential. If we have a look at him, I'm really pleased with his physicals. 6'2", he can jump and he can head a little bit. He can use both feet. I've got a feeling he's going to want too much money, as they all do. So he wants to be a star player. Let's finalise and negotiate the contract. Oh, okay. This is very reasonable. If he wants to come in, now we're not going to offer him anything for avoiding relegation. I mean, part of me actually feels like leaving that in future, because we haven't been. Well, no. So I'm not going to pay him a clean sheet bonus, or an unused substitute fee, or a signing on fee. Let's put that as it is. So that's going to cost us £270. We're still going to take him down a little bit. That's going to bump up to probably about 300, 350. Oh, he's accepted it. Okay, so that's £275 from our wage budget, providing nobody else comes in for him. He's not wanted by anybody else yet, which is surprising. Then we've got Bayan Aman, 3-star current ability, 21 years old, 4 to 5-star potential. If we look at him, he seems quite reasonable. I mean, it looks like he's about 12. If we compare him to Giamfi, because he's the player that we have in that role anyway, he's better mentally, he's better technically, better vision, not quite as quick, better physically. Because obviously we do use Giamfi sometimes here on the right, but he can also play in the more advanced role, which is here as a ball-winning midfielder. And if we compare him to Nanakai, there's Nanakai. He's a little bit better than Nanakai with the potential to improve. So I think we're going to see. So he's happy to be a fringe player. Non-contract. This could be a low-key, good little signing for us. Let's see if we can knock him down to 250. Oh, he's bumped that up to 375. Let's go back to original 275. No. 300. I don't really want to go any higher than 300. It's only 300 is £75 a week. He's got a 325, which is £8 jump. I'm not going to argue over that. Is he wanted by anybody yet? No. So he could be in line for him. Aidan Francis Clark, 3.5-star current ability with 4.5-star potential. 22 years old. I'm not as keen, I've got to admit. What else have we got coming in? So defensive midfielder Henry Ochieng can play there. He can kind of play the ball-winning midfielder role there. He's quite rounded with his physicals. His mentals are not actually bad at all. He could be someone, if he's willing to come in as not, I was going to say, as not a first teamer. I mean, he's not asking for too much. I'm a bit concerned as well we're going to be overrun with midfielders at this rate. If he's going to do that, I'm not against it. There you go. So potentially we're bringing him in as well. Oh, look at him. 4 stars in that role. I do quite like the look of him. He can do that role 3-star as well. He can do that role 4-star. I mean, he's pretty good as a fullback. He's not bad as a central defender. We're not going to play you in your preferred role. He doesn't like big matches, but he is consistent, has good natural fitness, and is versatile. So, what's he want? No. Bye-bye. Can't do that. 3.5 stars. 28 years old, Jack Hunter. Again, he's pretty good physically. His mentals are not too bad either. And I do like players that can do it. And he can do a centre-back as a 3-star. Let's see what he's wanting to be paid. That's going to be too much. We'll see if we can negotiate him down, but I don't think we will be able to. So I can't afford to pay more than, say, $500 a month. And he's going to want far too much money. There's not actually any point. Let's just walk away. So that's their trials finished. So we've got a friendly coming up in a moment. I'm not actually taking charge of friendlies. I'm leaving them to my assistant. I've got staffing positions out to advert. We've only got one coach, got no head of youth development, no head performance analyst. I mean, I don't really know why we need a head performance analyst when we don't even have a performance analyst. I don't know who's the head of. We've let Tel Bonheim, our director of football, go. So we've got an advert out for him. We've got an advert out for a physio as well. So I'll bring you back when we have some news. Well, look at that. Abdul Malik, the man that was going to be our saviour up front this season, has torn his calf muscle and he's out to 4 to 5 months. And it's not like he's on a non-contract either. His contract is for 2 years. Oh my word, I can't believe this has happened. Sam Collins has already missed most of pre-season because of an injury that he picked up, a thigh strain. If we go to the finances, that's fine. We go to transfers, we'll show you what we've brought in so far. So David Cower, he's come in as a right wing, left wing player. He's pretty reasonable, 3-star current ability, 4-star. But he's been doing well in pre-season, actually been scoring goals, setting goals up. George Bowman, he seems like a bit of a steal. Can play both sides, and he's in on loan from Millwall for the season. They want him to play on the left. I'm happy for him to play on the left because Cower plays on the right. That's our first choice, right and left, with Abdul Malik up top, or was Abdul Malik. Bayern a man, a 12-year-old, 21-year-old. He's come in. He's currently slotting in this position, which was occupied last season by Nanakai, Ryan Blackman, people like that. And he's been playing pretty well as well during pre-season. Burik Sabah, a 19-year-old Turkish player. He's in on loan as well from Colchester. He can play on the right. He can play in the middle. He can also play in the advanced playmaker role in here. He can do the ball-winning midfielder role, though, judging by his tactical, I assume he can't. But he tells me he can. And then Aidan Francis Clark, 22-year-old centre-back. He can jump a little bit. He can head a little bit. His tackling and marking is pretty reasonable. He is only 5'11", so I do have doubts. But he's in. That is a concern to me because he's injury prone. But so far he's been okay, and he is first choice centre back as well. If we look at our team, I mean, pay no attention to that. We're not going to pay any attention to that at all. So this is how we're looking at the moment. We're still short on what I want at centre back. I'd like to get in another couple of centre backs, to be honest. We've got Bailey Berry, Temi Awika and George Fowler that can back up them positions. The same with Blackman, Odlusi Kai that can back up around here as well. And obviously Macaulay can back up on the left-hand side, along with Bailey Berry, Harry Everett, quite well to do in them positions, really. And I don't know what these have got. Oh, they're not happy because of my... What? I've not had any dealings with Bailey Berry. What are you talking about? So Bailey Fields and managed teams was confusing against Aldershot. I mean, that was last season. And you got most of the squad in your favour from something that happened. Oh, this is... Sydney Udlucy did come to me saying he wants to leave to get better playing time. We're both trying to get him out of the squad. Same with Nanakai. I've told him he's not going to be starting ahead of Burik Sabah. So he's happy to try and find himself a team, because even though we've offered him out, we can't find anyone for him. So I'm going to go back to my scouting and my director of football and see if we can bring in another couple of centre-backs. Might see what we can do in the loan market. If we look at what we've got so far, we have 2 loanees at the moment. We've still got room for a few more. So let's see what we can do, but we're paying no attention to that. Okay, so we are basically at game day now, which is where this episode will end. But I will just show you what we've done so far. So Aidan Francis Clark, not sure if I told you about him last time. He's a 22-year-old centre-back. He's coming in, 3-star potential, 4.5 star. So 3-star current, 4.5 star potential. He's a centre-back for us. This one here, oh, I'm so excited about this guy. Sebastian Cortez, look at that. Look at his physicals. Look at his mentals. He's got good technicals as well. He can play in either the defensive midfield role or the more advanced midfield role as a ball-winning midfielder. He can do a defensive midfielder role here, ball-winning midfielder role there. I mean, he can do it in any position, really. We're using him here as a ball-winning midfielder. And if we go to our tactic, this is the team we've put together so far. So out of this squad, we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 new signings in the first starting 11. We've got a squad, we've got 6 here, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 players. Obviously, Abdul Malik will be out for 3 to 4 months. Odlusi, we would like to move on if we could. Same with Nanakai. We have got bids put in for 2 strikers at the moment. Harrison Thompson, 20-year-old. He's got good physical, he's got good pace about him. His finishing leaves a bit to be desired. But he'll get in there and he'll get chances, basically. We can play him as a pressing forward. Then we've got Ruben Marshall, who, again, pretty good physicals, pretty good mentals. He's got better finishing. He is wanted by other clubs. There is bids in from Tunbridge as well for him. In terms of Harrison Thompson, it's only us that's bidding for him at the moment. So we've got money in the transfer budget, got about £650 a week to spend on the committed. And that's pretty much about all we can do. If we go to the competitions, have a look at the season preview. We are expected to finish 21st. Filed, we have got to play. We've got Eastbourne Borough to play next. And then Filed. York, the favourites to go up. Out of the teams that were relegated last season, we have Sutton that are in here. Boston, Southend, South Shields and Torquay are in. Obviously, Morecambe were relegated as well. So, yeah, that's basically the team we've got. I'm a bit surprised we haven't got Cortez in here, but that will be probably the team we're going to be starting off with. Charlie Hughes was not originally in the game plan, but we basically have no other striker other than Abdul Malik. So I should have listened to our season planner. So thank you very much for watching, folks. It's been such a tough transfer window. I am still looking at some more loan signings, but there's really nothing out there at the moment. And those that are willing to come to us end up going somewhere else anyway. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you for the next episode tomorrow. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of stuff, turn your notifications on. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.